The viral video shows a black nurse doing the impossible on a city street, but it doesn't show what happened after, when the man I saved pressed a card into my palm and called me guardian, when my father's journal revealed he died protecting this secret, when the Mongols sent me footage of my daughter on the playground with a simple message: "Your gift belongs to us now." 6 hours left on the countdown, and I'm staring at a 1947 Harley that's been waiting 8 years for someone stupid enough to ride the roads between the living and the dead. It started 72 hours earlier. Maya Rodriguez was 6 months postpartum, working a double shift at County General Hospital, running on 3 hours of sleep and cold coffee. Her scrubs were stained with someone else's blood. Her breasts ached, painfully full because she'd missed her pumping session 2 hours ago. She was 28 years old, a single mother, and so tired she could barely remember what day it was. The emergency room had been chaos. Gunshot wounds, overdoses, a car accident victim who coded twice on her watch. When her shift finally ended at 11 p.m., all Maya wanted was to get home, feed Destiny, and collapse into bed for 4 hours before starting all over again. She was 3 blocks from the hospital when she heard the screaming. A crowd had formed on the corner of Broad Street, everyone holding up their phones, recording, nobody helping. Maya's nursing instincts kicked in before her brain could stop her. She pushed through the crowd and saw him. A man in motorcycle leathers lay sprawled on the asphalt, his bike twisted on its side 20 feet away. The gasoline smell was overwhelming. His leather vest bore a patch that made several people in the crowd step back. Hell's Angels, Nomad Chapter. His face was pale, lips turning blue. A massive bruise spread across his chest where he'd hit the pavement. His breathing came in short, desperate gasps that Maya recognized immediately. Tension, pneumothorax, collapsed lung. He had minutes, maybe less. "Someone call 911!" Maya dropped to her knees beside him, checking his pulse. Rapid, thready, fading. "Already called," a woman said, still recording. They said 15 minutes. 15 minutes. He'd be dead in 5. Maya assessed quickly. Massive chest trauma. Air trapped in the chest cavity, compressing his lung. He needed immediate needle decompression, or he would die right here on this street corner. She frantically searched her purse. No medical kit. Nothing sharp enough, sterile enough. The hospital was 3 blocks away, but she'd never make it in time. "Please." The man's voice was barely a whisper. His hand reached for her, gripping her wrist with surprising strength. "Can't breathe. Don't let me die like this." His eyes met hers, and something passed between them. Recognition, though they'd never met. His gaze dropped to the pendant around her neck, a small silver motorcycle wheel her father had given her years ago. The man's eyes widened. "You," he gasped. "Carlos Rodriguez, you're his daughter." Maya froze. Her father had been dead for 8 years, killed in a motorcycle accident that was never fully explained. How did this dying stranger know his name? The man's breathing became more labored. His lips were purple now. Seconds left. Maya's mind raced through everything her father had taught her. He'd been a mechanic, a biker, and secretly, a man who knew old remedies. Folk medicine passed down through generations of riders who lived far from hospitals and doctors. She remembered him telling her once, late at night in his garage while he worked on an old Harley. In the old days, Misha, when brothers got hurt in the desert, far from help, sometimes the only thing that could buy time was mother's milk. The antibodies, the proteins. Ancient healers knew it could slow shock, keep a man conscious just long enough to get real help. Maya had laughed it off as biker mythology. Old stories told over whiskey and engine grease. But now, kneeling over this dying man with no other options, the memory burned in her mind. The crowd pressed closer, phones recording everything. Maya knew what she was about to do would be everywhere within minutes, knew she'd be judged, mocked, possibly fired. But his breathing was stopping. His eyes were rolling back. She made her choice. "Someone call 911 again," Maya said, her voice steady despite her shaking hands. "Tell them he's coding." She cradled his head in her lap, unbuttoned her scrub top, and removed the nursing pad from her left breast. The crowd went silent, then erupted. "What the hell is she doing? Oh my God, is she seriously going to? Someone stop her! This is insane!" Maya ignored them. She guided his mouth to her breast and whispered the prayer her father had taught her, words in Spanish she'd never fully understood. Old words, ancient words. Then she let him latch. The man was barely conscious, but instinct took over. He began to nurse weakly, desperately. Maya felt the familiar pull, the letdown reflex. Her milk began to flow. And then something impossible happened. Warmth spread from her breast through her entire body. Not the normal warmth of nursing, but something else. Something that felt like electricity and sunlight mixed together. Her milk felt different, almost glowing with heat. She looked down and her breath caught. There was a faint golden shimmer to her milk where it touched his lips. The man's eyes snapped open, clear and aware. His hand reached up, touching her face with reverence and recognition. "The bloodline," he whispered around her breast. "It's true. You have the gift, just like your grandmother, just like your father tried to hide." His breathing stabilized. Color returned to his face. By the time the paramedics arrived 4 minutes later, he was alert, stable, and should have been impossible. "What did you do?" The paramedic stared at Maya as she buttoned her shirt with shaking hands. "He should be dead. Chest trauma this severe. We should be bagging him." "I just kept him conscious," Maya said. "Just tried to help." The man locked eyes with her as they loaded him into the ambulance. He pressed something into her palm, a black card with silver writing. "Thank you, Guardian," he said. "You passed the test. 72 hours. The address is on the card. Come alone. Learn the truth about what you are, about what your daughter will become." The ambulance doors closed, and he was gone. Maya looked at the card. An address in the desert, 80 miles outside the city. A date and time, 3 days from now. And a symbol, a motorcycle wheel with 13 spokes, each spoke bearing a different marking. The same symbol her father had tattooed on his forearm. The crowd dispersed slowly, everyone checking their phones, uploading videos. Maya walked to her car in a daze. Her breast still felt warm, still tingled with that impossible golden heat. By the time she got to her mother's apartment to pick up Destiny, the video had 10,000 views. By the time she got home, 500,000. By morning, 20 million people had watched her breastfeed a dying Hell's Angel on a city street. Her phone wouldn't stop ringing. The hospital administration, news outlets, unknown numbers. She ignored them all and held Destiny close, nursing her daughter in the quiet darkness of their apartment. She looked at her milk in the bottle she'd pumped that morning. In the light there was the faintest golden shimmer she'd never noticed before. What had her father been hiding from her? The next morning, Maya was suspended from the hospital, pending an investigation into her conduct. By noon, 3 different people had shown up at her apartment, each claiming to have answers, each warning her about the others. The first was a man covered in tattoos, missing 2 fingers on his left hand. He introduced himself as Snake, an old friend of her father's. He wore a Hell's Angels vest and sat in her kitchen drinking coffee like he'd been there 100 times before. "Your daddy was one of us," Snake said. "Not just a member, a guardian. You know what that means?" "No," Maya said, holding Destiny protectively. "I don't know anything." The man you saved was Reaper. He's the road captain's brother. What happened on that street wasn't an accident, Maya. It was a test. They needed to know if you inherited your father's gift. What gift? I'm a nurse. I did what anyone would do. Snake laughed, but there was no humor in it. Anyone? Girl, you brought a man back from death with your milk. You think that's normal? You think those 20 million people are watching because you gave him CPR? He leaned forward. Your great-grandmother was a healer in Alabama. Could save babies that were supposed to die. Your grandmother had it too, but lost the faith. Your father had it strongest of all. Could lay hands on a wounded brother and pull him back from the edge. And you, Maya, you got it through your milk. That's rare, maybe the rarest gift of all. This is insane, is it? You felt it, didn't you, when he was feeding? That warmth, that power flowing through you. Maya said nothing, but Snake saw the truth in her face. The card Reaper gave you, that's an invitation to meet the Guardians. We're 13 riders who protect the innocent. Stop trafficking rings. Save lives nobody else can save. Your father died doing that work. Died protecting 3 children from monsters who would have sold them. And you want me to take his place? Want? No. But the bike chooses, not us. And if you felt what I think you felt, the bike already chose you. I have a daughter. I'm not joining some vigilante biker gang. Snake stood to leave. Nobody's asking you to join anything, but in 60 hours you're gonna have to make a choice. The Guardians will offer you one path, but there are others circling now, others who saw that video and know what you are. Not all of them have good intentions. He paused at the door. Your father's last words to me were, keep Maya away from this life. I've tried, little sister. For 8 years I've tried, but some things can't be hidden forever. Not when they glow. 2 hours after Snake left, Maya had another visitor. Detective Sarah Chen from the gang task force. She was young, professional, and carried a folder thick with documents. Ms. Rodriguez, I've been investigating the Hells Angels Nomad chapter for 3 years. What you did yesterday, that was incredibly brave and incredibly dangerous. Detective Chen spread photos across Maya's coffee table. Women's faces, 12 of them. These women all had connections to the Nomad chapter. Some were girlfriends, some were family members. Some, like you, just got too close. All of them disappeared. Maya's blood went cold. Disappeared. No bodies, no evidence, just gone. And the one thing they all had in common, they were all healers. Nurses, doctors, midwives, women with medical knowledge. Chen leaned forward. Ms. Rodriguez, I think the Nomad chapter is involved in something bigger than drugs or guns. I think they're collecting people with specific skills. And I think your father discovered what they were really doing. My father died in an accident. Did he? Because the police report on his death has more holes than a shooting target. Single vehicle collision on a straight road in perfect weather. Bike completely destroyed but his body barely touched. And the witness who called it in, never identified, never found. Chen pulled out another photo. Maya's father standing with a group of bikers. Reaper was in the photo, younger but recognizable. Your father was investigating them from the inside. I have evidence he was planning to come to us to blow the whistle on their operation. Then he died. Chen's voice softened. Maya, if you go to that meeting, if you follow that card, you'll disappear too. Let me protect you. Testify about what you saw. Help me take them down. I didn't see anything except a man who needed help. You saw Reaper. You can identify him. That's enough to start building a case. Maya looked at the photos of the missing women, looked at her father's face in that old picture, smiling beside people who might have killed him. I need to think about it. Chen left her card. Call me before you make any decisions. Please. That evening, as Maya fed Destiny, her phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Your daughter is beautiful. Destiny, right, at Little Sprouts Daycare on Maple Street. Maya's heart stopped. Another text came through. The card has an address. Be there in 60 hours. Come willingly, and she stays safe. Run, and we'll find you both anyway. Your father understood. Now it's your turn. A photo loaded. Destiny on the playground, taken today. Someone had been watching her daughter. Maya's hands shook so badly, she nearly dropped the phone. She looked down at Destiny, innocent and trusting, nursing peacefully. She thought about her father, about the secrets he'd kept, about the warmth she'd felt flowing through her milk into that dying man. She went to her father's old garage, the one she'd inherited but rarely used. In the back office, she found what she was looking for. A hidden compartment behind a loose panel. Inside was a journal, her father's handwriting filling page after page. The guardians are real, not what people think, not outlaws, protectors. We ride the roads between, seeing what others miss, saving who others abandon. I have the gift through my hands. Mama had it through her voice. Maya will have it too, through whatever form it takes. I pray she never discovers it. I pray she lives normal, safe, free from this burden. But if she does discover it, if the gift manifests, then God help us all. Because they'll come for her, just like they came for Mama. Just like they'll come for any woman who carries the bloodline. The last entry was dated 1 week before his death. They know about Maya. Reaper saw her at the hospital, sensed something. I told them she has no gift, that the bloodline skipped her. But if they test her, if she reveals herself, I won't be able to protect her. I have to end this, have to make them believe the bloodline died with me, whatever it takes. Maya read the words 3 times. Her father had died protecting her, died trying to hide what she was. And she'd revealed herself to save a stranger on a street corner. She looked at the black card. 52 hours remaining. She thought about running, taking Destiny and disappearing. But they'd found her daughter's daycare in less than 24 hours. How long before they found her in another city, another state? The only way out was through. Maya made her decision. She would go to the meeting. She would hear what they had to say, but she wouldn't go defenseless. She spent the next day preparing, researching, planning. She told her mother to take Destiny to her sisters in Montana, just in case. Her mother cried, but didn't argue. She'd known this day would come. Your father made me promise, her mother said, pressing an old leather jacket into Maya's hands. If you ever discovered what you were, if you ever decided to walk his path, I was supposed to give you this. It was her father's riding jacket. Not his cut, his personal jacket. Inside the lining, hidden in a secret pocket, was a knife. The handle was inscribed with words in Spanish. Para el guardián del camino, for the road guardian. The night of the meeting, Maya rode her father's old Harley out to the desert. She hadn't ridden in years, but the bike started on the first try, like it had been waiting for her. The engine purred like a living thing beneath her. As she rode through the darkness, other bikes appeared, pacing her from a distance. Escorts or guards, she couldn't tell. The desert stretched empty and vast under the stars. 80 miles felt like crossing into another world. The address led to an abandoned manufacturing plant, old and crumbling but still massive. Dozens of motorcycles were parked outside, Hell's Angels from chapters across 3 states. They formed a corridor she had to walk through to enter. None of them spoke, but all of them watched. Inside, the space had been converted into something like a chapel. Motorcycle parts hung from the ceiling like sacred relics. At the center stood a pristine 1947 Harley-Davidson knucklehead, gleaming under spotlights. It was the most beautiful bike Maya had ever seen, and shouldn't have been possible. A bike that old in that condition, running perfectly? Impossible. 3 figures stood behind the bike. Reaper, the man she'd saved, looking healthy and strong in his full colors. A woman in her 60s, Latina, with silver-streaked hair and eyes that saw everything. She wore a leather vest, marked with symbols Maya didn't recognize. And a massive man with a scarred face and presence that filled the room. His vest identified him as president of the Nomad chapter. The woman spoke first. "Welcome, Maya Rodriguez. I am Magdalena. This is Axel, and you've already met Reaper. We've been waiting for you. Your father spoke of you often. Before you killed him." Axel's expression didn't change. "Your father died protecting 3 children from a trafficking ring that operated through our territory. He rode straight into their compound alone to pull those kids out. Took 5 bullets doing it. We got there too late to save him, but we saved the children. All 3 are alive today because of Carlos Rodriguez." Magdalena stepped forward. "Your father was one of 13 guardians. Riders who protect the innocent, who see the roads others miss. We're not outlaws, Maya. We're something older, something that's existed since the first motorcycles rolled onto American soil after the war." She gestured to the knucklehead. This bike was built in 1947 by men who came back from the war changed. They'd seen things, done things, and discovered something in the chaos. A way to ride between. To see what others couldn't see, to find lost souls and bring them home. "This is insane," Maya said. "You're talking about magic motorcycles and supernatural powers." "No," Reaper said, his voice gentle. "We're talking about gifts that have always existed. Your great-grandmother could heal with her hands. Your grandmother could sense danger before it came. Your father could pull the dying back from the edge. And you, Maya, can give life through your milk. Breast milk isn't magical, it's biology. Then explain what happened on Broad Street. Explain why I should be dead right now. Explain why your milk glows when you feed your daughter." Maya's breath caught. She'd never told anyone about the glow. Magdalena pulled out a folder, showed Maya photos. Her great-grandmother in Alabama, surrounded by babies she'd saved. Her grandmother in Texas, working as a midwife. Women who'd been called witches, healers, saints. All of them with the same gift passing through the female line. "The test wasn't just to see if you'd help," Magdalena said. "It was to see if the gift had manifested, if your milk carried the life force. And it does, Maya. Stronger than anyone we've seen in 3 generations. What do you want from me? We want you to take your father's place, ride the knucklehead, become a guardian, use your gift to save lives nobody else can save." Before Maya could respond, the building shook with the roar of engines. Different bikes, different sound. The doors burst open, and 20 men poured in, wearing cuts from the Mongols MC. At their head was a man who radiated cold calculation. "Victor." "Well," Victor said in accented English, "the famous Maya Rodriguez. The woman who brings the dead back to life with her tits. I've been very curious to meet you." Axel stepped forward. "Victor, this is sacred ground. You have no right." "Sacred? Please, you people and your mystical nonsense about guardian bikes and holy missions." Victor walked past Axel, like he wasn't there, approaching Maya directly. "I'm here to make the girl a real offer. Not this fantasy about riding between worlds to save strangers." He pulled out his phone, showed Maya a video. Her daughter at daycare, playing on the swing set. "Join us, Maya. Ride for the Mongols. Use your gift the way it's meant to be used, for profit. We move product across borders, past every checkpoint. But the cops are getting better. Dogs smell drugs. X-rays see guns. We need something they can't detect. What are you talking about? Your milk, sweetheart. Whatever magic is in it, it masks everything. We coat the product in your milk before transport, and it's invisible. Dogs can't smell it through that biological marker. Scanners can't penetrate it. You could make us millions. Maya stared at him in horror. You want to use my breast milk to smuggle drugs, and guns, and people when the price is right. You work for us. We pay you $200,000 a month. Your daughter grows up rich, protected, educated, never wants for anything. You pump a few bottles a day. We handle the rest. You're insane! I'm practical. These fools want you to risk your life riding into danger to save strangers. I want you to sit safely at home, pump bottles, and get rich. Which sounds better? Neither, Maya said. Victor's smile faded. Wrong answer. He pulled out his phone again, pressed a button. My men are outside your daughter's daycare right now. One call and they take her. Raise her to work for us instead. Would you prefer that? The room exploded into motion. Hell's Angels reaching for weapons. Mongols doing the same. But Maya moved faster than thought. She walked straight to the knucklehead, placed both hands on the handlebars, and threw her leg over the seat. Don't touch that bike, Magdalena shouted. Not unless you're certain. The bike knows intent. If your heart isn't pure, it'll... Maya turned the key. The engine roared to life like thunder, like a living thing waking from a long sleep. Heat flooded through her hands, up her arms, into her chest. The same golden warmth she'd felt when nursing Reaper, but 1,000 times stronger. Visions exploded in her mind. Her father's last ride, racing to save 3 children. The children's faces, terrified, hopeful. Her father taking bullets but not stopping, not until all 3 kids were safe. His final moment, bleeding out, pressing his hands to the bike's gas tank and whispering a prayer. The bike had absorbed his gift, his sacrifice, had been waiting 8 years for someone worthy to ride it again. Maya opened her eyes and they were glowing, pure golden light. Here's my answer, she said to Victor. She twisted the throttle, and the knucklehead leaped forward. Victor's men scattered. She rode straight through the building's wall, bursting into the desert night. Behind her, chaos erupted. Gunfire, shouting, engines roaring to life. But Maya wasn't running. The bike showed her things. Paths that didn't exist on any map. Roads between the roads. She saw them glowing in the darkness, like lines of light only she could perceive. And she saw something else. 3 miles east, off the highway, hidden in a ravine. A truck, camouflaged, guarded. Inside that truck, the bike showed her, were children. 5 of them, kidnapped, bound, waiting to be sold. Victor's cargo. Maya rode toward the ravine, the knucklehead, moving impossibly fast across terrain that should have been unrideable. She could hear pursuing bikes behind her, but they fell away, unable to follow the path she saw. She reached the truck in minutes. 2 guards stood watch. When they saw her, they reached for weapons. Maya didn't slow down. She rode between them, so close they had to dive away, then skidded to a stop at the truck's rear doors. The doors were locked, but Maya's hands were still glowing. She placed her palms against the metal and pushed. The warmth flowed through her, into the lock. Something inside the mechanism melted, gave way. The doors swung open. 5 children stared at her with wide, terrified eyes. The oldest was maybe 12. The youngest couldn't have been more than 6. It's okay, Maya said, her voice gentle despite the adrenaline screaming through her veins. I'm here to take you home. She got them out, got them onto and around the bike. Somehow they all fit, the smallest child in her lap, the others holding on to her, onto each other. It shouldn't have been possible, but the bike made it work. Maya rode back toward the compound, carrying 5 rescued children, her hands glowing golden on the handlebars. She could see the roads between now clear as day, could feel where danger waited and where safety lay. When she arrived back at the manufacturing plant, both the Hells Angels and the Mongols were still there, locked in a standoff. But when Maya rode in with the children, everything stopped. Detective Chen was there too. Dozens of police cars surrounding the building. She stared at Maya in shock. "I found Victor's cargo," Maya said simply. "5 children, they'll need medical attention and protective custody." Victor tried to run, but Axel's men blocked his path. Chen's officers swarmed in, making arrests. The Mongols scattered, but Victor wasn't fast enough. Chen approached Maya carefully. "How did you know where they were?" "I just knew," Maya said, and it was the truth. The bike had shown her. Her gift had shown her. Chen looked at the children, at the knucklehead, at Maya's hands, which were slowly fading from golden back to normal. "I don't understand any of this, but those kids are alive because of you." She lowered her voice. "Whatever you are, whatever this is, maybe it's not my job to understand it. Maybe I just need to stay out of your way." Chen left with the children and most of her officers. A few remained, taking statements from witnesses. But it was clear they wouldn't arrest anyone tonight. Too many questions, too few answers that made sense. When the police were gone, Magdalena approached Maya. "You rode the knucklehead. You saw the roads between. You saved 5 lives on your first ride." She smiled, but there were tears in her eyes. "Your father would be so proud." "I don't want to be a guardian," Maya said. "I don't want this life. I know. That's what makes you perfect for it. True guardians don't want power. They just want to help." Axel stepped forward. "We're not asking you to join the club, not asking you to wear a cut or follow our rules. We're asking you to be what you already are. A healer, a protector, someone who stops when others drive past. And in return," Maya asked, "in return we protect your daughter. We watch over your family. We make sure Victor and men like him never touch what you love." Axel's scarred face was earnest. "Your father died saving children. You could save dozens more, maybe hundreds. Is that worth 1 night a month, 1 ride when we call?" Maya thought about the 5 children's faces, thought about her father's journal, his last words about protecting her, thought about destiny, growing up in a world where monsters stole children and nobody with the power to stop them would act. 1 ride a month, Maya said. "I choose the missions. I choose when and how. And if I ever think you're using me, using my gift for anything except saving the innocent, I walk away." "Deal," Magdalena said. They gave Maya her father's original cut then, the vest he'd worn as a guardian. It was old, worn, but carefully preserved. Patches marked his service, his rescues, his sacrifice. On the back, instead of the typical Hells Angels markings, was something different. A golden motorcycle wheel with 13 spokes, the symbol of the Guardians. "There are 12 of us now," Reaper said. 13 with you. We ride when called. We save who others abandon. We're invisible to the regular world, but we're always watching. Maya put on the vest. It fit perfectly, like it had been waiting for her. She rode home that night on the knucklehead, and the bike showed her things. Lost people calling out in the darkness. Accidents about to happen, children in danger. The roads between were full of pain and need, and she could see all of it now. It should have been overwhelming, should have driven her mad. But instead, Maya felt something else. Purpose. Her father's gift, manifested in her milk, combined with the bike's power, to see what others missed. She could do something with this, something that mattered. When Maya got home, her mother was waiting with destiny. Her daughter reached for her, hungry, and Maya nursed her in the quiet darkness. Her milk glowed faintly golden, and Destiny's eyes reflected that light. Her daughter was being changed, day by day, by drinking milk infused with the gift. Maya didn't know what that would mean for Destiny's future, but she'd protect her, guide her, make sure she had choices Maya never had. 2 weeks later, Maya's phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. Not a threat this time, a request. Guardian, missing girl, 16, taken from truck stop 3 hours ago. White van heading east on I-40. Police are 6 hours behind. We need someone now. Maya looked at Destiny, asleep in her crib. Looked at her mother, who met her eyes and nodded. Her mother had known this would happen. Had known since the day Carlos Rodriguez died that his daughter would eventually walk the same path. Maya called her supervisor at the hospital, the one who'd reluctantly reinstated her after the viral video attention faded. I need to take a personal night. Emergency. She rode out to her father's garage, uncovered the knucklehead, and felt its engine purr to life at her touch. The roads between lit up in her mind, showing her the way. She saw the van, saw the terrified girl inside, saw the route that would get her there fastest. Maya rode into the night, following roads that didn't exist on any map, moving between the spaces where normal people traveled. She found the van at a rest stop, the driver taking a break. She didn't need weapons, didn't need backup. She had something better. She had the gift. Maya walked to the van, placed her glowing hands on the door, and the lock melted. The girl inside, drugged and terrified, looked at her like an angel had appeared. It's okay, Maya said softly. I'm taking you home. She carried the girl to her bike, called the police with the location, and was gone before anyone could ask questions. Another invisible rescue. Another life saved that would never make the news. This was the life now, nurse by day, guardian by night, mother always, Maya Rodriguez, who once thought her greatest power was her nursing license and her stubbornness, had discovered she was so much more. She was a healer, a rider, a guardian, and she was just getting started. If you've made it this far, if Maya's story touched something in you, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. This channel tells stories about ordinary people discovering they're extraordinary, about choosing to help when everyone else looks away. Drop a comment below, telling me what power you'd want if you could help people. What gift would you choose? And smash that like button if you want to see more stories like this, because there are 12 other guardians out there, each with their own gift, their own story, their own impossible choice between safety and service. Maya rides the roads between now, seeing what others miss, saving who others abandon. She's your neighbor, your nurse, your sister. She's invisible until the moment someone needs her most, and then she's everything. The guardians are real. They ride in the spaces between light and shadow, not for glory, not for recognition, but because someone has to, because children need saving and monsters need stopping, and sometimes the only thing standing between innocence and evil is a single mother on a 1947 Harley Davidson with milk that glows like starlight. Maya's daughter Destiny is 5 now, and sometimes when her mother comes home late, smelling like desert wind and gasoline, Destiny asks where she's been. Maya always tells the truth. Helping someone who needed it, baby. Did you save them, Mommy? Yes, sweetheart, I saved them. Good, that's what guardians do. And somewhere in the darkness, 13 motorcycles. Ride roads that don't exist. Ridden by people you'd never suspect. Carrying gifts you wouldn't believe. Saving lives you'll never hear about. They're out there right now, watching, waiting, ready to answer the call. Because that's what guardians do.